Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do a for loop. But before I do that, I'm going to show you one more way of showing stuff on the screen other than using an alert. And you do that by doing this. Document dot write and then whatever. Alright? And then we do this. And it writes whatever on the screen, in the document. The web page is the document. So yeah, see, no HTML involved or whatever. It's all pure JavaScript. So now we can talk about for loops. And what a for loop does is it loops over an action or a function or whatever you define it to do over a certain number of times. So let's say we wanted to write out the word butter 5 times. Well, let's do that. Let's make a for loop that does that. And it's pretty simple, even though it looks a little bit complex. But once you learn how a for loop works, it's pretty cool. So to do a for loop, we do for, and then parentheses, and then inside the parentheses we define our conditions, and there are 3 conditions. And the first condition is what we're going to start counting from, and we do that by doing I, and all I is it's just this temporary variable, and you could use whatever you want other than I, but every for loop I've seen uses I, and it seems that I is the standard temporary variable everyone uses for loops, so I just do what everyone else does, and I guess you should too. So we're going to start counting at 0. I equals 0. And we'll do a semicolon. But we're not done yet. We have to tell it at what point we want to stop. Or at least how long we want to keep going. So what we want to say is we want to keep going as long as I is less than 6. And we put 6 here because we want to loop 5 times. So each time it goes through, it increments I by 1. So during the 5th time, I will be equal to 5. And 5 is less than 6, so it'll do it again. And then the next time, I will be equal to 6. And 6 is not less than 6, so it won't do this part again. So another semicolon, and the last part is how much we want to increment I by. And for this example, and pretty much every other for loop you'll want to increment I by 1. And you could do I plus 1, but shorthand for incrementing a number by 1 is just doing plus plus. So we'll do I plus plus. Oops. And you won't put a semicolon after. So then we'll do our curly braces, and inside the curly braces we'll put what we want it to do each time it goes through the for loop. And in this case, we want to write out a word, and we said we wanted to make it say butter. So we'll do document dot write butter, and you should see that it will do butter. And it did it 6 times. Oh dear. I guess I was wrong. Sorry. Alright, so I guess, yeah, this is the actual number you want it to increment by. Oh well. Oh well. Whatever. I was wrong. So what? Butter, 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 butter. Yeah. That's a for loop. I'm kind of sad now. I'm not perfect.